2020 is looming, and now we have these surveys popping up over who Democrats want to be their candidate in 2020. Spoiler alert, right away, Joe Biden. Joe Biden number one. Actually, it's not Joe Biden, it's someone new entirely, but of the named candidates, everybody wants Joe Biden. But there's a poll in this story from USA Today. What do Democrats want in 2020? Someone new and Biden. So it's actually don't want any of them for the most part, but it's actually rather fascinating. So we're going to be looking at this this chart right here, which is kind of funny because everybody who knows Hillary doesn't want her to run. But let's start with the beginning. Democratic and independent voters are crystal clear about the candidate they'd be most excited to see in the 2020 presidential field. Someone entirely new. Oh, and also the most seasoned prospect. Joe Biden. I'm going to be in the someone entirely new camp, but let's read on. Asking voters their pick for president more than a year before the primaries begin typically doesn't tell you much beyond name recognition. Instead of asking about support, a USA Today Suffolk University poll tested which candidates now seem intriguing to voters and who turns them off, in an effort to get clues about the dynamic ahead. Landing at the top of the list of 11 options was, quote, someone entirely new, perhaps a prospect not on the political radar screen yet. Nearly 6 in 10 of those surveyed, 59%, said they would be excited about a candidate like that. Only 11% said they'd prefer that a new face not run. So can we just point out that right now, we're a year before the primaries, and Democrats don't want any of the prospects. Like, this is bad news, okay? Because if most people who are Democrats aren't excited for your candidate, some of them probably won't vote. And if that happens, well, they're not going to vote in the general either. So this is bad news across the board. There's no Democrat strong enough for everybody. And I think one of the reasons is, if you've ever seen the chart that I show time and time again from The Economist, that conservatives have kind of coalesced. They've slowly moved a little to the right, but focused on core issues. And the left has actually been spreading apart. So now you've got Democrats. Most people can't agree on who the right person is. They say, that said, close behind was Joe Biden. The opposite of someone entirely new, Biden, now 76, was a veteran senator from Delaware before he served 2 terms as President Barack Obama's vice president. He's weighing whether to make his 3rd bid for the Democratic nomination. 53% said they would be excited about that, while 24% urged him not to run. He has the common touch, said Thomas Mislaney, 72, a Democratic retiree from Perkiomenville, Pennsylvania, who worked for the Environmental Protection Agency. He thought Democrats might need to nominate an older white male to defeat President Trump for re-election. Although he agreed the party needs to move to a new generation of leaders, the world is changing so fast. Can we just stop right there? Did I have to read that? Okay, listen. They don't have to pick a white man. And they don't have to not pick a white man. This is the crazy, it really frustrates me when people, you say things like, my channel is all like anti-left. No, by no means. In terms of policy, I'd probably only support someone on the left. But what do you expect me to think when a Democrat says, we better go to white male? Well, I'm like, what? Why? Barack Obama won twice. What is this weird racist mentality that is permeating on the Democrats? Okay? You had, the guy who's gone now, I can't remember his name, the lawyer guy, they called him creepy porn lawyer. Michael Avenatti. I forgot his name already because he kind of disappeared. After he canceled, he said he's not going to run anymore. But he said the same thing to Time Magazine, that's got to be a white man. These people have become so entrenched in their identitarianism, they're convinced that only a white man can win, completely forgetting Barack Obama. It's mind-numbing. It's so annoying. Catherine O'Connor, 63, an artist and political independent from Lockport, New York, had an idea how to reconcile those conflicting impulses. Nominate Biden for president and choose someone like Kamala Harris or Beto O'Rourke as his running mate. While she mentioned O'Rourke, she also worried that the 3-term House member who lost his bid for the Senate last month and other newcomers lack enough experience for the Oval Office. The poll of 689 Democrats and independents, taken by landline and cell phone December 11th to 16, has a margin of error of plus or minus 3.7 percentage points. Here's the best part. First, let's point to Hillary Clinton. I do not like Hillary Clinton. I don't want to say it's personal because I don't know Hillary Clinton, and I just say I just don't like her politics. I don't like dynasty politics. I don't want to see another Clinton. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this shouldn't run category, and I'm going to say, Hillary Clinton, please don't do it. Makes no difference, people. Come on, wake up. Everybody should be here in the dark blue. Excited about Clinton? Absolutely not. Here's my favorite Actually, it's my second favorite statistic from the study. Never heard of them. Yes, there is a tiny sliver of people who have never heard of Hillary Clinton, and bravo. You must live in a magical forest of candy canes, Skittles, and rainbows, where you don't have to hear about this stuff time and time again, because I think we're all a little sick and tired of hearing about Hillary Clinton for a lot of reasons. Then we've got, let's move with the list. Amy Klobuchar. I've heard of her, but look at that. More than 50% of people have no idea who she is. Admittedly, I've heard of her. I think she's a senator. Some people think she shouldn't run. Most don't care. I'd probably fall in the don't care. Like, Well, actually, no, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Klobuchar should be in the don't run category. Sort of. I don't mind if she's in the primary. Like, we need a decent amount of Democrats in the primary to, work our way through. And you know what? Actually, I'll say this. In terms of the primary, I would be excited for Klobuchar to run because we definitely need to make sure we have a big field so that we can vote through to the best person. Just because people don't know who she is doesn't mean she's going to be a bad candidate. She might be a good candidate, and we should get her up on that stage. So I'd actually go into excited. And the same thing for Michael Bloomberg. I would say only in terms of primary, not in terms of the actual presidential run. Because for the most part, I think it would be good to have... Actually, you know what? We'll stop here and I'll say this. It would be good to have everybody except Clinton in the primary, right? Clinton, retire. No more. None of this. You're a bad candidate. Okay? And some of these other people are probably bad candidates too, but they're fresh faces. Get them on the stage, let's hear them out, and try and figure out who the best and strongest person is going to be. I do not think it's going to be Beto O'Rourke. I don't think it'll be Klobuchar. Bloomberg might do okay in terms of being a Democrat. Elizabeth Warren, actually, we'll stop here. Get out. No Elizabeth Warren. She should not run. And she shouldn't run for one reason. You know what, man? When Trump started mocking her and calling her Pocahontas, okay? So, sure, Trump mocks people. It's what he does. But when she went out and produced that little mini documentary and took the DNA test, that was it. And you know what? There's a lot I don't like about Elizabeth Warren, but I actually lean a little bit more favorable towards her because she is kind of Bernie-esque. But after this whole fiasco, I am no fan of Elizabeth Warren. Like the whole DNA thing. I think Elizabeth Warren, actually, I'll say this too, like when it came to Bernie Sanders, she wouldn't endorse him, and a lot of people were angry about that because they're similar to each other in terms of progressive politics, and it seemed like she was being duplicitous. That she just wanted to try and get on the ticket, and so she sold out Bernie when she should have endorsed him. Cory Booker. I actually kind of like Cory Booker. I feel like he's a little spacey. I don't know if the right way to describe him is, but I would give him like a 55 to 60% favorability for me, and I would absolutely be excited to see him in the primary so we can see what he's got. I don't think he'll win. Admittedly, I don't know if any of these people can win, so I'd probably find myself in this somewhat entirely new category. But I would be excited for Cory Booker because a little favorable. He doesn't play as hard some of these silly games, but he does play some silly games politically. So that's why that's why I only give him 55 to 60% because it's like, meh. Kamala Harris. I do not like Kamala Harris, and I'll tell you why. I can't remember exactly what it was. I covered the story, but she posted some fake news about something, and as soon as you do that, you lose me straight up. And the reason for it is specifically that, and this is sad because I actually really liked Kamala Harris more so than most of the other people, but she posted something that was like overtly manipulative, and then I was just like, you're gone. You're gone. Okay, Beto O'Rourke apparently has been called White Obama. Seriously, people call him White Obama. I don't mind Beto. I'd actually like to see Beto on the primary stage. And the reason I'm saying primary is because, like, dude, honestly, I don't think any of these people have what it takes to beat Trump because Trump is a imposing figure, and he knows how to play that game where he, instead of debating an idea, he targets you and he sours the idea of you. And if you can't overcome that, I think Michael Avenatti was one of the people who had that ability. I don't know if anybody else up here has that ability to combat something like that because these are straight-laced, like, ivory tower types, and Trump is more of an urban city type who's going to be like, yeah, no, you know what I mean? And, like, yeah, if you don't got the street smarts to combat that kind of rhetoric, you're not going to pull it off. Bernie Sanders. Oh, man. You know, as many of you know, I was a big Bernie fan, and this can be, I have a friend who can attest to this when I worked at Fusion, who heard me go on one of these crazy Bernie rants about like someone who stands for what they believe in, who has consistently fought for social justice with integrity. Even today, like on the debate stage, Bernie said gun rights are an urban versus rural issue, and I'm like spot on. And it's probably because people in his state, they want to own guns. It's like a blue state, but people live, you know, out in the middle of nowhere, so they're still, you know, kind of pro-gun people. And Bernie refused to say abolish ICE. So there's a lot about Bernie that I really like, and I feel like he does have integrity, but man, he started to play that game when he said white men can't experience, or white people can't experience poverty, and I'm like, oh, Bernie, you're losing me. But you know, I still believe in him to an extent. He may be a little too weak, but he might just be a little too old at this point. And that brings me to our next candidate, Joe Biden. Joe Biden's, I think he's too old, and he just comes off like a neoliberal corporate type. I'll say this though, I gotta say, like out of everybody, Bernie Sanders in terms of politics, I like more than Joe Biden, but I do kind of like Joe Biden for being more of an old school Democrat type, and I'm concerned that Bernie Sanders is playing too much into that identitarianism. But wait, we're almost done, okay? Someone entirely new, I would definitely say I'm in that bracket. Some people don't want a new person to run. No, I would be excited for someone new from all of these people, but we got to put them on that primary stage and see who can make it. But here's the best part. My favorite statistic in all of this, now that we've run through the candidates, never heard of them. How have you never heard of someone they didn't name? This just shows you, this little blue sliver right here are people who are just like nihilistic, not paying attention, trolling on purpose, or seriously mentally deficient, okay? When someone asks you, how is it that more people have said they haven't heard of someone entirely new, not even a real person, than Hillary Clinton? Like, Hillary's a real person. I can understand if you said, have you heard of like John Smith? You'd never heard of him. But if I said, have you ever heard of someone you've never heard of? You'd be like, well, I guess actually, maybe these are the smartest people. Because if I said, what about someone you don't know? And they'd be like, well, I haven't heard about someone I don't know. I guess technically I was wrong. These are the smartest people in the entire survey, recognizing that if they haven't heard of the person, they can't express any desire one way or the other for them. So here's our lineup so far. Apparently, these are the people that everyone is talking about for 2020 on the Democratic side, and I gotta say, I am not enthused. Because like I mentioned, I definitely fall into someone entirely new camp. If I could think about the top of my head who I would want to run, man, honestly, I really can't. I really can't. I just don't know. That's why I'd probably say at the end of it all, if this was our choice, come the primary, I have to make a vote, probably going to be Bernie Sanders. Probably going to be Bernie Sanders for sure. Well, I shouldn't say probably for sure, but I don't know. Man, it's a toss-up between Biden and Bernie if I had to make a choice between these candidates, but I'm crossing my fingers and hoping for somebody new. So you tell me what you think. I bet there's going to be a lot of people who are conservative who want Hillary Clinton to run because she'll lose, but I would say this too. I think Hillary Clinton can still win. You know, don't ever underestimate your opponents, and don't put yourself in a position that Trump, like, you know, everybody made fun of Trump, and then he won when his margin was like 1.7% or some ridiculous number. So, you know, there you go. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. There it is. Here's our contenders. Here's our lineup. Let's just see what the final thought in the article is. They say, 3 years ago, Bernie Sanders was my favorite, said Arlana Spencer, 43, a stay-at-home mother, and a Democrat from Flagrant Beach, Florida, who was also among those surveyed. Now I am not sure. I would like to see some fresh faces. I think that about sums up my feelings on the matter. Pretty spot on. Yeah. Anyway, stick around. I got some more videos coming up. They'll be on this channel, and I will see you then.